Hello there again. Um, Anyone who's been following this, maybe 5 or 6 people. This is the fourth installment of the devlog that I'm keeping to try and help me track progress through a concept idea I've got, which is a sort of heli-based persistent mission. And currently what I'm working on here is the creation of 4 kind of border patrol points, which will split the island in 2 hostile, less hostile sides, and within each base there will be some kind of a log of the units that have been deployed. And I've been working on a sort of a very basic virtualization system, so that once you've deployed live units, once you leave the area, they will be removed, but the numbers will be retained. And then as you come back into the area, that same number will be respawned. So it gives the illusion of persistence without having to look after hundreds of units, which is obviously not good for any experience. So here we are again, the spawn point. I've kind of given up on that concept, and at the moment I've got add actions associated with the assets, with the helicopters, because I can't quite yet work out the locality issues around add actions on multiplayer players. So that's cool. I'll get there. So the way it works currently is that say if you wanted to do this large-scale troop deployment concept, you would fly over to the pickup area, which is over there, and at some point soon there should be some units running out ready for pickup. And one thing I've figured out, well, it took me a long time actually to figure it out, but I think this is what's happening. So I've got a system that enables the group that's been created down there to board my heli when I land near them. And I found that if I land in a way that lets the leader join, sort of enter the helicopter first, then when I land and automatically disembark the group, they that's fine, they jump off and I fly away, happy days. But if I land and one of the other units, not the leader, if they join the heli first, then when it's kick-off time or kick-out time, there's this sort of process or system where they'll jump off and then they'll reboard and leave and join again. And I think that's because the leader is still inside the heli. And I haven't quite figured out a way to get the leader out of the heli first. So what I've done instead is simply built some sandbags and I've designed it so that the leader will always jump on first. So it's a crude workaround, but that's what I'm all about. So I've got 4 bases hard-coded into the mission. These are sort of existing military bases. And the way it should work, let's see, so Lacquer is the base we're going to. There's no virtual units there at the moment, and there are 78 units in total in the mission, which I need to make lower, but it's okay for now. So what should happen, if this is all working correctly, is that I'll land, these guys will disembark, I'll fly away, and as I am a distance, I think it's 500 meters, I think I set, away from the drop-off point, they will be deleted or virtualized. Slightly nicer way to put it. and I can then go and pick up some more units and kind of replay the mission, as it were. And if I return to this base, it will respawn the number of virtualized units on my approach. So I'm hoping that's all going to work now. It's not been fully tested, so this may not actually work. Hopefully it will. So far so good. I think by now, if there was any issues with the issue I described before, you'd see people boarding and getting on and off. They get stuck in a loop, which is a bit crap. Alright, so as I head off, let's just see there's 78 units in play and 0 virtualized. Now there's 16 virtualized and 62 units in play. So if I was to go back to that base, there would be nothing there. So now if I create another round of units to be created, and they should appear in a second out of this hangar to my right. There we go. I like it when things work. I mean, this is quite a basic concept. The code is pretty basic, but it was a struggle for me to get this to work as it is working now. It's a lot of trial and error, mainly down to my lack of scripting knowledge, I think. But you keep trying and you get there in the end. So let's head back to the Lacquer military base. 78 units and 16 virtual. Now this should all kick in one click out. So 2, 1. There is a 20-second cycle on that. There we go. So 94 units. And hopefully, there we are. Spawning horribly. Getting into a very unrealistic, perfect V formation. But I can work with that. I can figure out, hopefully, a way to sort of distribute them, garrison them, patrol them. disembark hopefully without issue. So we have 94 units currently and 16 virtualized. But those 16 have become real units, and when I leave, I think there's the 16 that I've just dropped off. We convert that to 32. See if that actually happens. Okay, so I've obviously got something not quite right there, but okay, well there's more work to be done on that. If I just swing back, hopefully there'll be nothing left. So if the concept is to ferry sort of relatively large groups around not only these military bases but towns, in-country patrols, extraction missions, whatever, there could potentially be a lot of kind of in-play entities. So hopefully this system will enable something relatively realistic without killing frames, which is kind of, I guess, kind of the objective here. So as you can see, there's nothing left in this base. If I were to schedule another pickup, let's just see what happens. Only 12 minutes in. Okay, so it's about 6 minutes a mission. Okay, that's interesting. So what's happened there, I think, is that I've triggered the mission while I'm still quite close to the base. So I'm going to need to think about how to manage that. So at the moment, all of those units have been recreated. They're not virtual anymore, they're live. Frames are still fine for now, but ideally they should only be appearing on the approach rather than on moving away from the base. I suppose when I've got this kind of ticking over nicely, I probably want to have a system that automates. So let's say if you've got a base that has got a healthy number of troops associated with it, whether they're real or virtual, you could sort of simulate or recreate with actual objects things like patrols. So if, for example, there was, say, 100 units stationed up here, you could run virtualized patrols and activities around here without actually having to make it happen in the engine, as it were. Just concepts, really. I don't know how feasible that is. It sort of seems reasonably doable, but I don't yet know how hard it would be if focus within my skill set, but I think it's probably roughly the area that I'm going to be sort of looking to explore. So maybe something similar to Alive, but obviously nowhere near as advanced or good. But yeah, I think the concept of virtualization is probably kind of universal really in gaming, so hopefully there's no IP issues there. I doubt people worry about this anyway. Yeah, so now we've got 60 units at Lacquer Base. So yeah, having them in buildings, patrolling around and these guard posts. There must be a way to kind of identify buildings, identify positions of buildings, and randomly spawn units at those locations. One would assume, anyway. So 48 virtualized units. No, 107. Oh, I know what's happening. Yeah, I know. I'm not accounting for the recreated units, so it's kind of exponentially increasing. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but yeah, I think I know why it's higher than expected. So I need to somehow account for that. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. Actually, I'm not too unhappy with this, considering I don't really know what I'm doing. One thing I should say, as before, is that this is single-player multiplayer, so this is not on a dedicated server just yet, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be issues with some of the stuff that I'm doing. So that's going to be another challenge, I think, just maybe to stop development on this and take whatever this is and make it work in a truly dedicated environment. So yeah, that's it for now.